The aim of the session today is really to introduce you to our partnership grant scheme, provide a bit of information about what our partnership grant scheme is, a little bit of detail about the application process, and then I'll share some case studies at the end as well. The partnership grant scheme is the Royal Society's funding programme for schools, and it's available to teachers teaching students across all the key stages, so primary and secondary. And the scheme is designed to fund schools up to £3,000 to run an investigative STEM project. And the idea is that funding is used by the school to purchase equipment to help you run your project. And kind of central to the partnership grant scheme is this idea that schools are working with a STEM partner throughout the running of the project. So a STEM partner is a STEM professional from academia or industry who can work with the school throughout the running of the project. It's not an opportunity to fund design and build projects. If you're looking for funding for design and build project, you need to make sure there's still a really clear investigative element to your project. It's not designed to fund a variety of different STEM club activities. So absolutely, the funding can be used to run a project in STEM club time. And that absolutely happens very often. But what is key is that your project that you're running in that STEM club time, it needs to be one specific kind of project rather than a series of different unlinked activities. And as it says, funding can't be used to pay for entry into third-party schemes or competitions. In terms of the aims of the partnership grant scheme, the scheme is kind of trying to help develop experimental science, data and problem solving skills in young people. And by that interaction with the STEM professional, it's giving opportunity to students to kind of interact with those STEM professionals and see their real world research. Obviously, if you're teaching secondary school students who might be thinking about careers, it's also a nice opportunity for them to see the different types of careers that might be available to them. And through the partnership grant scheme, it's hopefully kind of helping to highlight the real world applications of what the students are studying. Alongside those aims, from a STEM partner's point of view, it's a really nice opportunity for them to share and showcase their work and their expertise and have that opportunity for themselves to develop their engagement and outreach skills by working with a school. As it says, we're always looking to increase the number of projects that develop data literacy and math skills through those projects. So in terms of the application process, it's completed online through a system called FlexiGrant. And FlexiGrant is used by the Society for all of our grant programs. So it might be that if you're your STEM partner, they might have had experience using FlexiGrant. So they might be able to support you with that process. As it's the schools who receive the funding through this grant programme, it does have to be the schools that start the application process. And then you can invite your STEM partner to the application and they can support you with the application. Central to partnership grants is this idea that students are running an investigative project. So as part of this, when you're applying, you need to make sure this investigative element is clear in your application. So your project title has to be a question, and the idea is your students are trying to answer that question. As well as the investigative element, we encourage schools to think about the scientific method. So one of the aims of the partnership grant scheme is this idea that students are developing key scientific skills. And then in terms of the students, one other thing that is quite common sometimes is if a project involves more than one year group, it can be quite a nice opportunity for kind of the older years to act as mentors with the younger years. And that gives an opportunity to the older students to develop kind of other key skills. It's not necessarily the amount of funding you're asking for that will decide, whether or not you receive the funding. What is really key is that you're asking for funding and you're asking for equipment, that it's clear you really need to run that project. So everything you're asking for is justified. We refer to the partnership grant scheme as a fully supportive scheme. And by that, we mean there's support at kind of every step of the process. And then, assuming you're successfully funded, we do keep in touch with you as you run your projects. And we just ask for simple project updates at kind of key points during your project. And we do also ask for simple budget updates.